What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Appreciate all you guys being here. Nice little 7-game slate for this Saturday night. Pretty interesting one because we've had some news come out during the day that's definitely changed the slate quite a bit. Kyrie Irving is now out. Obviously, James Harden going to be a clear number one play on this slate with Kyrie out. We do have news that Malcolm Brogdon is now questionable, which is pretty big because Malcolm Brogdon has yet to miss a game this season. And with him out, that's going to open up some really good plays from the Pacers if he were to be out. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but Brogdon's now questionable, so yeah, that's big news to watch. Porzingis is probable. We got an update there. We still are waiting on news on LaMarcus Aldridge, but DeRozan's available to play. So, the Spurs I don't think are going to be a team we really look too much on this slate, especially if, Brogdon gets ruled out. I think the Pacers are going to be a team we kind of look to for value, depending on, who they wind up starting. But it should be a fun slate for sure. I think you're definitely going to see a lot of chalk tonight. I think there's going to be a lot of guys that are just really, really popular. But then there's going to be guys that, go overlooked for sure. It makes sense, but everyone's going to be paying up for Harden tonight. So I think a lot of these other studs are going to be lower owned, which, always makes for an interesting slate when you can get guys like Sabonis, potentially with no Brogdon, Joel Embiid without Tobias Harris, Cat. When you can get these guys at low ownership, always makes for a fun slate for sure. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks as always for tuning in. Love the music. Noah, I always tune in when you go live. Hey, I appreciate that prime time. I appreciate that, man. Hit the like. Noah, I just shared this on Twitter. I appreciate you. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hey, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, happy Saturday to you. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. People asking questions already won't even hit the like button. Yeah, guys, hit that like button, as always. Once you get in here, hit the like button. That's all I ask. I do appreciate all the likes, as always. Thanks for your help. Been cashing more often. In cash game, do you worry about playing too many value guys? My lineup right now is Harden, Rose, Walker, Zion, Mills, Ben Simmons, and Cauley Stein. I don't see any reason why you would want to play Cauley Stein. Porzingis is expected to play, so Cauley Stein has no value at all. You can never play too many value guys. It's just you got to make sure you're playing good value. You don't want to just play cheap guys just to play them. You need to have a reason to play them. So for Cauley Stein, he's not going to be in play now that Porzingis is back. I don't see any reason to play Cauley Stein. But let's say Malcolm Brogdon gets ruled out and Aaron Holiday starts. Then you would have a really good reason to play him because he's cheap, makes a lot of sense to go there. But Patty Mills, a lot of those Spurs guys like Patty Mills, Lonnie Walker. Now that DeRozan's playing, I don't know if I'm really going to look to those guys. I don't really like that much from the Spurs with DeRozan back. Now, if Aldridge were to sit, then yeah, I think DeRozan would be a solid play. But I don't see too much from the Spurs that stands out. What do you think about Wade if Osman's out? Yeah, Wade would be interesting just because they'd be so thin. We already know Taurean Prince is out, and now if Osman were to sit as well, I would think we'd get at least 30 minutes from Dean Wade. Now, obviously, Dean Wade, who the hell knows what he's going to do in 30 minutes, but he's super, super cheap, so he'd be viable. What is he on DK? Yeah, he's 3,300, and we know that Taurean Prince remains out. We know that Cedi Osman's questionable. If both those guys are out, or if Osman gets ruled out, yeah, Dean Wade he'd be viable. There'd probably be better value. If Brogdon gets ruled out, I think we're going to have better value to go to from the Pacers, but Wade would be in play. Hit that like button. That's the first thing I do when I get this video up. Hey, D-Roll, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Who benefits the most with Brogdon out? We'll have to see who starts. My opinion is that they either start Aaron Holiday or TJ McConnell. Whichever one starts, I think is a great play. Even if McConnell comes off the bench, I think he's still viable. If Aaron Holiday comes off the bench, I think he's still in play. But yeah, both those two guys would be the first two guys I'd look to if Aaron Holiday or if Brogdon's out. And then obviously that'd be a bump for Sabonis and that'd be a bump for Miles Turner as well. But we would for sure have some value from the Pacers with a guy like Aaron Holiday if Brogdon were to be out. How do you feel about the Nets' backup guards? We'll have to wait and see who starts. I think if Tyler Johnson starts, he's super cheap. He would be in play for me. This is shaping up to be a stars and scrubs kind of slate. I have a feeling you're definitely going to want to be paying up for Harden now that Kyrie's out. You probably can get in an extra stud. If I could play Harden and Cat tonight, I think that's what I want to do. And if we get if Brogdon gets ruled out, we're going to have value from the Pacers. You could go to Tyler Johnson. You could go to Mike Scott if he starts. There's plenty of 3K guys that are viable tonight. Is Milton a good play? I think he benefits without Tobias Harris. I don't know what their starting lineup's going to be. They could start Milton. They could start Mike Scott. They could start Korkmaz. We don't really know what they're going to do. They could start Matisse Thybulle. I think whichever guy winds up starting, if Thibault starts, I don't really like him, but if like Milton starts or Mike Scott starts, I think they're definitely in play. Milton, though, I expect to get a little bit more usage off the bench, and he'd be viable for sure. What makes Eric Bledsoe a good value? I think he just, he's super cheap, and he's been getting the minutes as well. Like, Bledsoe's been playing pretty good minutes, like 34, 35 minutes these last few games. At 5,100, I mean, he's not going to be very productive playing alongside Ingram and Zion and those high-usage players, but if we're getting 33, 35 minutes from Eric Bledsoe at 5,100, I mean, he can easily pay off this price tag. Is he a top option? I don't think so, but definitely someone I'd have in my player pool if I was playing multiple lineups. But like I said, I think this is going to be a stars and scrubs slate, especially if Brogdon gets ruled out. There's going to be plenty of value. Who else had Draymond last night? That was insane. Yeah, I saw Draymond. He almost had a triple-double in like the first quarter or something. I didn't play Draymond, but yeah, he had a crazy good game. No, appreciate you, man. Hey, I appreciate you as well. Appreciate you being here. Clarkson or Ingles? I like both now that Conley's out. I think both are in play. If I had to pick one, I think I prefer the upside on Clarkson, but both are viable for sure. Is Lonnie Walker still a good play with DeRozan coming back? I'm not as interested in Lonnie Walker now. He's already not that productive of a player on a point-per-minute basis, and now that DeRozan's playing, I don't really think I need to go to Lonnie Walker on this slate. With Conley out, who do you like most from Utah, Clarkson, Ingles, or Mitchell? All three of them are viable for me. I think Clarkson and Ingles are my favorite because they're just so much cheaper. I don't know if I'm going to be paying up for Mitchell on this slate. Like in my one lineup, I don't think I'm going to play Donovan Mitchell. But Clarkson and Ingles are definitely guys I'm going to be considering. How do you like Anthony Edwards with no Beasley? Oh, yeah, I do. I like Anthony Edwards quite a bit. I think him and Cat are just going to dominate the usage. So I like those two guys a lot. There's a chance I play Anthony Edwards and Cat in the same lineup tonight. I don't see any reason why you can't. Edwards is a high usage player, and now that there's no Beasley, there's going to be more usage, or even more usage available for Anthony Edwards. We know he's a guy that's going to go out there and chuck and take a ton of shots. What are your thoughts on Lonnie Walker and Nicholas Claxton? I'm not really on either one. Claxton, I know he had a big game, but he did it in like 15 minutes. I just don't see any reason to play Claxton. He's not going to play more than 15, 16 minutes. And Lonnie Walker, now that DeRozan's playing, I don't really want to go to Lonnie Walker. So you'd like two heavy studs, Harden and Cat, or if you can do one heavy stud, two next tier. I think I want to go Harden and Cat, but we got to wait and see if Brogdon plays. Like if Brogdon plays, then we're probably not going to have a ton of value. But if Brogdon gets ruled out, there's going to be some good value from the Pacers. That's going to make it a lot easier to get to those studs. I'm definitely playing Harden though. I don't think you guys probably could have predicted that, but now that Kyrie and KD are both out, I mean, there's no shot I'm fading Harden. And if he sucks, then he sucks, but I'm playing him 100%. Bledsoe's dead to me. I mean, yeah, I could see that. If you've been playing him recently, it probably hasn't been going well, but he's shown some games he's shown some decent games at times. Can you fade Harden and play some of the cheaper nets? I mean, you can. It's super, super risky, but you can. I feel like the only way that Harden disappoints is either a blowout or foul trouble or something. But I mean, we're basically getting the Harden that we whenever he was on the Rockets last year, whenever Westbrook would miss games, Harden would just go out there and put up 65, 70 every night. That's basically the Harden we're getting tonight, in my opinion. His usage rate's 40% with KD and Kyrie off the floor. And we know he's just going to go out there and chuck. The offense is going to run through Harden. He's a great play. If you fade him, you're just kind of hoping. I don't think you're not fading Harden because you think he's going to disappoint. You're fading Harden just because you hope something goes wrong. Any projection site you look at is going to have Harden projected for probably over 60 fantasy points, if not more. Edwards gets a massive usage bump with Beasley off, yeah, for sure. Him and Cat, I think, both benefit. Cat over Embiid, I prefer Cat, yeah. I like the matchup more for Towns. I think he's got just as much upside as Embiid, so yeah, I go with Towns. How do you rank the top centers? It'd be Towns number one for me. If Brogdon gets ruled out, I don't know if you consider Sabonis a center, but if Brogdon gets ruled out, I would rather play Sabonis over Embiid, but it'd be close between those two. Definitely, though, Cat's my favorite center at the top. No, I love the content. I appreciate that, man. Any Will Barton love tonight? Not really. I don't see any interest to go, or any reason to go to Will Barton on this slate. Just not a ton of interest for me. I feel like there's going to be better plays than Will Barton. I mean, I played Will Barton last slate, and he just completely shit the bed. So he hurt my feelings last slate. I don't know if I want to go back to him today. What's up, my guy? My streak of making every live stream the last 3 weeks. Any interest in Sabonis against the Knicks? I appreciate that, David. If Brogdon gets ruled out, I do like Sabonis a lot more. If Brogdon winds up playing, I don't think I'm going to go to Sabonis just because I'd rather play Cat. I mean, even if Brogdon's out, I would probably still rather play Cat. I definitely would rather play Harden. But yeah, Sabonis would get a bump if Brogdon's out for sure, and he'd be a lot more appealing. I would assume he's still going to be low owned. Even if Brogdon gets ruled out, I assume Sabonis will still be low owned at his DK price. Danny Green or Mo Wagner? I mean, I don't really have that much interest in either one. I'd probably play Danny Green if I had to pick one. I feel like one of these days we are due for a random 50-point game from Ricky Rubio. I mean, yeah, I was on the Ricky Rubio train, at the beginning of the year when D'Angelo Russell was out, and it did not go well. But yeah, he's shown upside, especially last year when he was with the Suns. I mean, Rubio's always been a pretty productive player when given the opportunity. I don't know, he hasn't been getting it done this year. And his minutes, he hasn't been playing a ton of minutes. That's the big thing too. He's only going to play 28, maybe 30 minutes, even if it's a close game. Any cheap guys you like tonight? I mean, yeah, we got to wait and see if Brogdon plays. If Brogdon gets ruled out, there will be some cheap guys I like from the Pacers. If Aaron Holiday were to start for Brogdon, he would be a great value play. If Mike Scott starts for Tobias Harris, I have interest in him as a value play. We got to wait and see who starts for Malik Beasley. If we get a guy like Jalen Noel in the starting lineup, he's, really, I don't want to say he's really, but he's a somewhat productive player. He can definitely pay off his price if he were to be in the starting lineup. So, yeah, there's potential value for sure. And if you want to target like Tyler Johnson, now that Kyrie's out, you could go there too. He's super cheap. You like Clarkson or Ingles at all, or is the blowout too much of a stay away? I wouldn't be worried about blowout. I mean, I don't think, what's the spread in that Orlando game? I don't think that's really that wide. I mean, it's 8.5. That's not crazy. If anything, you should be worried about Philly blowing out Cleveland. So, yeah, I mean, I'm totally fine with those Jazz guys. Now that Mike Conley's out, the Jazz are more appealing for sure. Clarkson and Ingles are definitely my two favorite, I think. How you like Bruce Brown? Yeah, now that Kyrie's out, I think Bruce Brown's another guy that benefits. He's someone I have a good amount of interest in on both sides. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but Bruce Brown has shown some upside this year. He's a guy that can get steals. Those are huge on Yahoo. If you play over there, steals are worth 3 points. So, yeah, I do like Bruce Brown now that Kyrie's out. Really, it's Harden, obviously, number one from the Nets. I think Bruce Brown's my second favorite. And then you can go to guys like Tyler Johnson, Joe Harris. But definitely like Bruce Brown and Harden are my two favorite guys from the Nets today. What do you think the Nets starting lineup will be? It'll probably be Harden, Tyler Johnson, Tyler Johnson, Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, and DeAndre Jordan. Or Jeff Green, one of those two. Pretty sure last time Kyrie and KD were both out, they started Tyler Johnson and Bruce Brown. So I think that's who starts today is Johnson. What's up, Noah, my guy? Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, Galvin. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Second time asking, do you like Ty Jerome at minimum salary? Thanks for the content, dude. I'm already pleased. Hey, I appreciate that, John. I don't have that much interest in Ty Jerome. I don't really know how many minutes he's going to play. Like last night, I think he played like 20 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he played 22. I mean, he was super productive, but I guess you could take a shot on him at 3K. I think there's going to be better 3K values. Like if Aaron Holiday starts for Brogdon, I would much rather play Aaron Holiday over Ty Jerome. But I guess you could go there. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was like a number one pick with the Suns a couple years ago. Like he's got potential, but I won't be playing Ty Jerome personally. I won't be playing him, but if you need a 3K value, I guess he's fine to go to. Brown or Ingles? Give me Bruce Brown there. Would you go with Michael Porter Jr.? I'm fine with Michael Porter Jr. I wish he was cheaper, but again, he's got upside and he's been playing the minutes lately. He's played 39 and 40 minutes over his last two games. So yeah, Michael Porter Jr. As long as he's going to be getting close to 40 minutes, he's in play for me until he gets to a point where his price is just too high. I think he's still viable even at 6,500. Is Derrick Rose no longer a priority with some of the cheaper value opening up? I still think Rose is a really good play. I haven't built out my lineups yet, so I don't really know if I'm going to be playing him yet, but I still think he's a really good option. I mean, he's still too cheap. If Derrick Rose is going to be starting and playing close to 30 minutes, like he should be close to 6K. Like we're still getting a good price on Derrick Rose. It's just, if I'm playing Harden and if I'm trying to play Cat as well, obviously I'm going to need some really cheap value. So we'll have to wait and see. Like if Brogdon gets ruled out, then I think I'm going to prefer to save salary at shooting guard and play Aaron Holiday. But we'll just have to wait and see. Where do you go to see starting lineups? Go on Twitter. That's your best bet. Follow at Fantasy Labs NBA on Twitter. They tweet out injuries, starting lineups, everything you need. I mean, Twitter's where you got to be for NBA DFS news. Thoughts on Theo Maledon? Yeah, I have interest in him. Definitely on Yahoo. If you play over there, Theo Maledon's still minimum salary. And he got backup point guard minutes last night with Hamidou Diallo out. I think he's going to be the backup point guard. They're going to stagger his minutes with SGA, which is what they did last night. And that's going to definitely help his production. So I do like Theo Maledon a good amount, especially on Yahoo. He's too cheap on Yahoo. He shouldn't be minimum salary. Hey, Noah, you saved me yesterday. Just my second time here. I have 8,700 and need a power forward and small forward on FanDuel. I mean, Terry, I'll be honest, I don't play on FanDuel. I haven't even looked at the salaries. Maybe somebody in chat could help you, but I mean, just off the top of my head, I don't know what Bruce Brown's price is on FanDuel. If he's a small forward, you could play him, and then I don't know what that would leave you for power forward. Just followed, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for following. Thank you. Hopefully Porzingis can eat tonight against a bad Brooklyn team. Yeah, Porzingis, he's in play for tournaments. I don't think I could get there in like cash games or anything, but yeah, Porzingis should be really low owned on this slate, and we've seen centers just put up massive games against Brooklyn, so he's in play for sure. Adams or Rose at util? Ooh, that's a close one. I think I'd probably go Derrick Rose, but that's super close. I have interest in both those guys tonight, but yeah, I'd probably take Rose there. Murray, Embiid over Harden and Cat. Give me Harden and Cat for sure. What are your thoughts on Josh Hart? I don't really play Josh Hart when the Pelicans are fully healthy. I know he's popped off at times and put up some big games, but I just don't play Josh Hart. And he's not even that cheap either. I think he's almost 5K. Yeah, he's 5K. I mean, you need 30 fantasy points from Josh Hart. How often does he hit 30 fantasy points? Maybe 20% of the time. I just don't play Josh Hart when the Pelicans are fully healthy. I don't see any reason to. Any love for the Knicks guards, Rose, Burks, and Quickly? I like Rose. I think Quickly is probably going to be a fade for me. He only played 20 minutes last game. He was basically just the backup to Rose. If they're only going to play Quickly 22 minutes, I don't see any reason to pay almost 5K for him. I know he was really good last game, but I don't expect him to be as productive as he was last game. Rose is clearly their go-to point guard right now. So if Rose is going to be playing close to 30 minutes, he's my favorite guard from the Knicks. I don't even play on DK. I'm a FanDuel guy, but your advice is on point. I appreciate that, man. There's people in here that don't play DK, but still tune in, and I appreciate all you guys, no matter what site you play on. What time did they announce last night Biyombo was not starting? It came out I think 30 minutes before tip-off. I mean, basically it came out after the 8 o'clock games had started, so really there was nothing you could do. I mean, you could have swapped, if you had Biyombo in your util spot, you could have swapped to Markieff Morris, or you could have swapped to Cody Martin, who wound up starting. I still played Biyombo because I didn't have anyone else to swap to. That was just crazy. That was stupid, man. I was expecting Biyombo to start. Every game that Cody Zeller played, or that Cody Zeller was out at the beginning of the year, Biyombo started every game Cody Zeller was out. And then they don't start him last night. Where do you go at shooting guard today for FanDuel? There's 15 options. Driving myself crazy trying to pick. Like I said, Austin, I don't really look at the FanDuel pricing. I don't know who's a shooting guard there. If Derrick Rose is a shooting guard, he'd probably be a good option. If Aaron Holiday winds up starting for Brogdon, if Brogdon gets ruled out and then Aaron Holiday's a shooting guard, you could play him there. But I don't know who's shooting guard on FanDuel. Noah's the man. Hit the like button. Hey, I appreciate that, Anchor. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Is Brogdon playing? We don't know yet. He's questionable. Amazing stuff and nice consistency, reliability to your content lately. I'm going to be here for more, man, and maybe Patreon soon when I'm not as tight on cash. Peace out. I appreciate that, John. Good luck tonight, my man. Thanks for tuning in. Need a small forward for 6,200. Who you taking on DK? It'd probably be Joe Ingles for me, 5,100. Now that Conley's out, I do have a good amount of interest in Joe Ingles, so I'd probably take him there. If you could find $100 though, I would definitely rather get up to Anthony Edwards. If you can get to Anthony Edwards. Who are your forwards you like? 4,200 on DK if Brogdon's out. Let's see. I mean, I like Jared Vanderbilt. I don't know how many minutes Jared Vanderbilt's going to get, but he's been a really productive player this year when given the opportunity. He did get 34 minutes last game. I have no idea if that happens again, but if we get 30 minutes from Jared Vanderbilt, I mean, he should easily pay off a $4,100 salary. It's a really good matchup. It's a fast-paced game. I think Vanderbilt's a cheap power forward you could play. If LaMarcus Aldridge gets ruled out and Trey Lyles starts, you could play Trey Lyles. You could play Mike Scott for minimum salary if he starts. So those are a couple of cheap power forwards I'd look to. How's your dog doing, Noah? He's doing good. He's back there asleep on the couch, like always. Been watching you for years, mostly play FanDuel. You help me out a lot. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Austin. I'm glad I could help. Please rank Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green relative to price. I would go Bruce Brown number 1, Joe Harris number 2, and then Jeff Green number 3 there. Best power forward value on Yahoo. Yeah, power forward's kind of tough on Yahoo. I feel like I'm probably going to be paying up for Zion here. But if you're looking to go cheap at the position, you could play Jared Vanderbilt. He is $11 on Yahoo. He would definitely be my favorite value power forward. Like, if I don't pay up for Zion, then I'm probably playing Jared Vanderbilt for cheap because I don't really see much I like in this mid-range. It's either Zion or Vanderbilt at power forward for me on Yahoo, honestly. How you feel about Taj on DK for cash value? Tibbs has been giving him 22 minutes. I don't see any reason why you would want to play Taj in cash. Like, he's not a cash play when Noel and Randall are both healthy. If Noel were to get ruled out, then yeah, Taj Gibson would be cash viable, but there's no reason to play Taj Gibson in cash games when Noel and Randall are both playing. Even if Taj gets 20 to 22 minutes, he's not a good cash play at that point. You need to feel safer about the minutes. Or you found playing 3 Timberwolves tonight? I mean, I could definitely see it. Like, I could see playing Cat, Anthony Edwards, and Vanderbilt. Like, I could see playing those 3 guys for sure. Or whoever starts for Beasley, you could play him as well. I don't know if I'd play all 4 of those guys, but yeah, definitely like Cat. If Noel were to start for Beasley, you could play him, Vanderbilt. Yeah, that's totally fine with me. Got to go finish installing my new dishwasher before lock. You're the man on Saturday, bro. Thanks for doing it. Good luck to all of us tonight. Hey, good luck, David. And good luck with installing that dishwasher. Theo or Shake Milton at point guard, only $100 difference between the two. Give me Theo. Who's your top fade of the slate? I mean, it's too early to tell who I'm going to be fading. Like, I don't know. I haven't even built out my lineups yet. I mean, I can pretty confidently tell you that I'm playing Harden tonight. I don't know who's projected to be popular that I would be fading because I don't know the ownership projections or anything. Good thing you don't play on FanDuel because on there you have to choose between Harden, Bruce Brown, Clarkson, Ingles, and if Brogdon gets ruled out, Aaron Holiday. Oh yeah, that'd be tough. I think if I'm playing FanDuel, I'm probably trying to get Harden in. But then yeah, deciding that second spot's gonna be tough because I have interest in all those guys: Brown, Ingles, Clarkson, or Aaron Holiday if Brogdon's out. Is McGee a cash play? No. McGee is not a cash. McGee would only be a cash play if Jared Allen were to get ruled out and McGee were to start. If McGee's not a cash play if he's not starting. Zion or Randall? Give me Zion. Back to the grind. Let's get it. Hey, back to the grind, TJ. I didn't have that great of a night last night either, but we're back for the grind, man. No days off. No days off. How you feel about Burks? I think there's probably going to be better value plays open up than Burks. I just don't think I'm going to be going to Burks on this slate. He's viable, but if I'm going to play any of those Knicks guys, it's going to be Derrick Rose. Westbrook or Ben Simmons? Give me Westbrook there. If Dylan Windler starts, is he in play? Cast then, he gets more usage than Dean Wade. If he starts, he'd be viable because I'm pretty sure he's still super cheap. What's Windler's price? Yeah, he's $3,700. If Jetty Osman were to get ruled out, I would feel a little bit better about Dylan Windler and Dean Wade. But yeah, if Windler were to start again, he'd be viable, especially if Osman's out, because then they just have one less body they could take away minutes from Windler. What about Justin Holiday? I don't know if Brogdon being out affects Justin Holiday too much. I think it's more going to benefit Aaron Holiday, and Aaron Holiday's a lot cheaper, so I'd rather play Aaron. Like, if Brogdon gets ruled out, the guys I'm going to be looking through on the Pacers are Aaron Holiday, TJ McConnell, and then I think Turner and Sabonis get a bump as well. But really, it's going to be Aaron Holiday and McConnell for me. And I guess Jeremy Lamb too, but Holiday and McConnell would be the two guys I'd really like. Any dumb questions yet? We ain't got any dumb questions yet. I mean, there's been a couple, but nothing's crazy. Rui Beal or Cat Edwards? Give me Cat and Edwards. Any interest in Vanderbilt? Yeah, just said it. I mean, I have interest in Vanderbilt for sure. I have no idea how many minutes he plays, but he's a productive enough player. It's a good matchup. If he gets the minutes, he should be able to pay off his price tag. So he may be a little bit risky, but I'm fine going to Vanderbilt on this slate. I need a $16 util spot on Yahoo. Who would you take? Probably, I'm trying to think, probably Seth Curry. I think Seth Curry is $16. Either him or Bruce Brown, if you don't have one of those two. Probably Bruce Brown, I'd take there. Debating Zion or Vanderbilt on Yahoo, man, that really changed the build. Yeah, that's the thing, Corey. That's what I said earlier. I think the power forward position sucks on Yahoo. If I'm not paying up for Zion, then I'm probably playing Vanderbilt for cheap. It all depends on my roster construction. I feel like I'm probably just going to try and jam in Zion, but then if I do that, then I'm probably not going to be able to play. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to play Harden, Zion, and like another stud. Like, you're not going to be able to do that. So, yeah, if you want, you'll have to sacrifice an extra stud if you want to get Zion in there. Like, it's just so tough. I haven't built out my lineup yet, so I don't know which way I'm going. But I can for certain say there's probably going to be one of those two in my lineup at the power forward spot. You like DeAndre Jordan if he starts? I think there's other centers I'd rather play over DeAndre Jordan today. Like, if Brogdon gets ruled out, I'd rather play Miles Turner. And I'd rather play Steven Adams for cheaper, I think. Now that Jeff Green's back, like, we could see DeAndre Jordan get 20 minutes again. Like, I don't think his minutes are as secure now that Green's expected to play. 4 T-Wolves too many. They're so cheap on Yahoo. I could see playing 4. It depends what 4 they are, but if you're playing like Vanderbilt, Anthony Edwards, Cat, and then whoever starts for Beasley, that's fine. We got to wait. Like, if Josh Okogie starts for Beasley, I don't know if I'm going to go to him just because he's not that productive of a player. But Noel is a decent enough he's decent enough on a point per minute basis that I would definitely be interested in Noel if he were to start for Beasley. Embiid or Jokic? Give me Jokic. On DK, what about Westbrook, Cat, Harden, and value? I mean, if you can make that work, yeah, go ahead. We got to wait and see, though, what kind of value opens up. If Brogdon gets ruled out, it's going to be a lot easier to build around 2 or 3 studs. What's your best power forward and forward? I mean, I like Zion at power forward if you can pay up for him. If you need a cheap option, I think Jared Vanderbilt's a solid cheap option. If Mike Scott starts, I think he's a solid cheap option. Those are kind of the guys I'm looking at power forward. How do you feel about Gobert? There's other centers I think I'd rather go to over Gobert. Like, I don't think I'm that interested in Gobert on this slate. Especially not, if I'm only playing one lineup, I don't think I get to Gobert in my one lineup. Looking at Ball, Garland, or maybe Edwards with 6,900 left at guard, I would take Anthony Edwards. Any love for Mo Wagner? Not really. I mean, his minutes are just all over the place. I don't want to take a risk on Mo Wagner on this slate. Like, there's just other guys I'd rather play. Which Mavs do you like, Jamal Murray or Jokic? I mean, if you have the salary, you could play Jokic, but I think for the savings, I'd rather play Murray. The Mavs are not that... Now that Porzingis is expected to play, I don't have that much interest in many Mavs outside of Luka and Porzingis. Like, the guys like Tim Hardaway, Josh Richardson, I'm not as interested in them now that Porzingis is back. Who scores more fantasy points, DeRozan or Edwards? I mean, DeRozan probably projects for more. When you factor in salary, though, if you're building out a lineup, when you factor in salary, I'd rather take the savings and play Edwards. Thank you, Noah. You the man? Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. How you feel about Baisley? He's in play. I think he's fine as like a last guy in. He is kind of cheap on DK, but Baisley's not someone I'm starting my lineup with. If he fits into my lineup, as a last guy in, I'm fine with him, but probably nothing more than that. Thoughts on Ingram and small forward is rough. I mean, yeah, I'm fine with Ingram. I mean, small forward's not that bad. I like Anthony Edwards. I like Michael Porter Jr. If you need some cheaper options, I think Joe Ingles is in play. Bruce Brown's in play for me. Small forward's not that bad tonight. But yeah, Ingram's solid if you can, pay up for him. Both Rose and Randall together, I mean, you could do that, but I don't really like Randall that much on this slate. Totally fine with Rose, though, but I don't think I'm going to Randall. Mitchell or Clarkson for the price. When you factor in price, give me Clarkson. On FanDuel, Maudon's only 4,300. He's played 30-plus minutes in 6 straight games. Would he interest you? Yeah, I like Maudon quite a bit, especially with Hamidou Diallo out. I think that benefits Maudon a lot more than people think because Maudon was the backup point guard last game, and he was really productive last game. I think he's going to be much more productive now that Diallo's out. So, yeah, I do like Theo Maudon. And if you play on Yahoo, he's minimum salary over there. Like I said, super, super cheap. Dejounte Murray and Ingram okay to pair. I mean, I don't think I'm going to go to Dejounte Murray with DeRozan playing, but Ingram's fine to go to. I'm kind of off Murray though. Now that DeRozan's back, I don't have that much interest in Murray at his price. How do you feel about Luka, Zion, Jokic combo? I mean, you can do that if you can make it work. MPJ scares me more than the boogeyman at night and Freddie and Jason. I mean, yeah. I feel like MPJ is one of those guys like, when I play him, that's when he's going to play like 20 minutes, and then when I don't play him, that'll be the days he plays like 40 minutes. I haven't played him the last 2 slates, and he's played 39 and 40 minutes, so I'm sure if I play MPJ tonight, he'll go back to, Malone will bench him again, he'll go back to playing 20 minutes. He is super risky, though. Like, he's so hit or miss, MPJ. Even if Mike Scott doesn't start, you still interested in him? Probably not. Because I just don't know what his minutes would look like off the bench. But if you were to start, I'd feel pretty confident that he gets at least mid-20s minutes, if not a little bit more, which would make him viable at minimum salary. But yeah, if Mike Scott, if he's not starting, I'm off him. Hey, no, PGA DFS, I finally got 6 golfers playing on Saturday for the WGC, no cut. Hey, hopefully you didn't roster Matthew Wolff, because then that would just suck. No cut event, and you still have a guy that withdraws or technically doesn't make the cut. Feel bad for anyone that played Matthew Wolff. Rank any value if Brogdon's out. Thanks for all these answers, man. One of a kind help. Hey, I appreciate that. For me, it's going to depend on a starting lineup. If Aaron Holiday starts, he'd be the priority from the Pacers because he's just so cheap, and he should be more productive starting at point guard, having the ball in his hands. So it would probably be Aaron Holiday number 1 if he starts. If TJ McConnell starts, I'd put him as a number 1 option. But I think both Holiday and McConnell are going to be in play for me if Brogdon is out. And then Jeremy Lamb, I don't really want to go Justin Holiday, but Jeremy Lamb and then Sabonis and Turner be viable as well. But it would definitely be Aaron Holiday and McConnell, top 2 plays from the Pacers if Brogdon's out. And whichever one start, I'd like more. First time playing Cat this year, fingers crossed. Hey, Cat's treated me well in the past. I think I've only played him once this year. It was that last game, and he fouled out. But Cat's treated me well in previous years. He's always a guy that just goes out there and stuffs the stat sheet. Rubio by far the best value rider, TJ McConnell. I mean, I don't have that much interest in Rubio at his price, but yeah, if Brogdon's out, I like TJ McConnell quite a bit, especially if he winds up starting. Any love for Kendrick Williams? Not really. Like last night, even with Diallo out, I think Williams still only played like 20-something minutes, if I'm not mistaken. He played 25 minutes. I just don't think I'm going to go to Kendrick Williams. I mean, he's not going to be that productive playing alongside SGA. Horford's back as well, so yeah, I just don't think I'm going to be on Williams. If he was like minimum salary, if he was $3K, I think it'd be a different story, but $3,800, there's probably other guys I'd rather go to, honestly. Does this look decent at the moment? Harden, Bruce Brown, Anthony Edwards, Vanderbilt, Cat, Malden, Court Moss, and D Rose. Assuming that Court Moss starts, yeah, that's fine for now. Didn't hear that Twitter handle for starting lines. Could you please tell me again? It's at Fantasy Labs NBA. I'll pull it up real quick. Just right here. At Fantasy Labs NBA. Just follow them on Twitter. They tweet out starting lineups. When guys get ruled out, they tweet it out. I mean, they basically tweet out everything you need to know. So, follow Fantasy Labs NBA. Can you talk a little about how you build a DK 20 entry max? Do you lock or go 80+% on a core, etc.? I mean, Hutch boy, it all depends on the slate. So if there's a value play that just projects super, super well, like if there's a 3K guy that projects for like 30 points, like I'd be fine just playing him 100%. But, or like tonight, with Kyrie and Harden both out, I could see playing, or with Kyrie and KD both out, I could see playing, Harden in 100%, or having, a good amount of exposure to him. But really there's, like, I don't want, like, if I have a core of like 4 or 5 guys, I don't want to play all 4 of those, or all 4 or 5 of those guys in every single lineup, because then you're just, if those 4 or 5 guys don't hit, then you are just, you're going to probably not cash in any lineup. But I think that maybe having 2 or 3 guys that you go pretty heavy on makes some sense. Like, usually if there's a value play that just, I think is like just a smash value play, a guy that's just projected to do super well, very unlikely to bust, I'm fine playing him in 100%. Normally he's going to be really chalky, but you can just play 100% and still get over the field. If Brogdon is out, does that have any effect on Sabonis? Yeah, Sabonis would get a bump. I don't think he'd get like a huge bump, but Sabonis and Miles Turner would both get a nice little boost. Interest in Bruce Brown? Yeah, now that Kyrie's out, I think Bruce Brown looks a lot more appealing. Is Maxey still viable with Porzingis playing? No, I'm off Maxey with Porzingis playing. Any love for Al Horford as the last guy in? Yeah, he's viable as the last guy in, but I don't think I'd be playing Horford personally on this slate. Maledon or Bledsoe? Honestly, give me Theo Maledon. You have to stop the hate on Harrison Barnes. Light 50 fantasy point night. I saw he went off last night. He was like 30% owned on Yahoo. He was super cheap there. I didn't play him, but I just feel like Harrison Barnes is one of those guys that whenever I play him, he has like 20 fantasy points, and then he'll just randomly pop off at times and put up like 50 like he did last night. And of course, I don't play him. Sorry if you answered this already. Any interest in Windler? If Jetty Osman's out, then yeah, I have interest in Windler. Because, with no Jetty Osman, no Taurean Prince, they would just be super thin. We'd see pretty good minutes for both Windler and Dean Wade. Would you play Harden and Luka in the same lineup? I'd be totally fine with that. If you can make it work, totally fine with it. Thoughts on Korkmaz? If he starts for Tobias Harris, he'd be viable. I have no idea who they're going to start for Harris. It could be Korkmaz, it could be Mike Scott, it could be Thibault. Just got to wait and see who winds up starting. I did well with a 90% core of 3 last night. Wasn't sure if I just got lucky or if it's a good situation-dependent strategy. Yeah, it's all slate-dependent. Like, if there's 3 guys that you just feel are very good plays, then yeah, you could play them in 90% of your lineups, but normally I don't go that heavy on 3 guys. Rarely do I even play 100% of a player. Like, back when I used to play 20 lineups, it would be a rare night that I would have 100% of a player. They would have to be like, it would have to be just a great value play, or a guy like Harden who is just going to get a ton of usage tonight. When you pulled up your Fantasy Labs page, I like the way it was set up. How do you get that look? Mark, this is so I don't know if any of you guys use TweetDeck, but TweetDeck I think is the much better way to use Twitter. Rather than going to twitter.com, go to tweetdeck.twitter.com. And it has you can set it up. You can have your timeline here. You can set up pages. So have a tab for Fantasy Labs. So whenever Fantasy Labs tweets, all the tweets show up right here. I have one for baseball. I have one for football. It's super convenient. TweetDeck is much better to use than the regular Twitter website, I think personally. Westbrook or Murray? For the savings, I think I'd rather go with Murray. Any love for Jared Allen against Embiid? This is a tougher spot for Jared Allen. On this slate, I don't think I can get to him. If I was playing a lot of lineups, I would still have Jared Allen in my player pool, but I've only been playing one lineup, so I just don't think I'm going to get to Jared Allen in my one lineup. Thoughts on Ty Jerome, FanDuel, cash or GPP? I don't think he's a cash play. I guess you could go there in tournaments. I'm sure he's going to be pretty low owned. He'd be viable, but I don't have that much interest in Ty Jerome. Going Beal, Embiid, and Rose. I'm fine with those 3 guys. I'm definitely fine with those 3 guys. If you're playing Beal and Embiid, though, you probably aren't going to be able to get Harden, which is scary. But if you want to fade Harden, you can if you want to. Not sure if that's supposed to be Barrett. I'm guessing you're saying Barrett or Ingles. Bruce, I'd take Ingles there. I'd take Ingles over RJ Barrett. Ingram is 7,700 on FanDuel as opposed to 8,300 on DK. Would he interest you? I mean, it would probably depend on the position and the other guys at his position. But yeah, that's a pretty appealing price tag for Brandon Ingram. But you have to look at the position as a whole, see what other guys are priced at. Is it possible that Porzingis could be limited coming back from injury? I'd assume we'd get a word on that if he were to be limited. I don't think he's going to be, but I would assume if he does get limited, we'll know. I mean, he only missed like 3 games, I think, so I don't think he's going to be limited. Bertans love if he plays. Not really. Not on this slate. I don't think I'm going to Bertans. Baisley or Ingles? Give me Joe Ingles. I mean, yeah, people see that Ty Jerome, put up almost 30 fantasy points last night, so now everybody wants to play him. I don't think I'm playing Ty. I'm definitely not playing Ty Jerome, but I guess you could throw him in your player pool if you're playing a lot of lineups. I think you're kind of point chasing though if you play him, honestly. I'm guessing you don't like Jared Allen play over Embiid. I mean, nah, at Jared Allen's price point, like he's gotten priced up to a point where you need like a 50-point game from him, and it just feels unlikely that he does that against Embiid, because Embiid's just such a good defender. The Sixers are a good defensive team overall. Jared Allen was a really good play when he was like 7K, 6,500. Now that he's 8,400, it's a lot tougher to play Jared Allen at that price. I love Jared Allen, but I don't think I can play him on this slate. No, what's up, my dude? Hey, what's up, Skywalker? What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Thoughts on Jarrett Culver? He's one of those guys that could wind up starting. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts from Malik Beasley. Like, it could be Culver, it could be Josh Okogie, it could be Noel. If Culver starts, I think he's viable. Just because it's such a good matchup, it's such a good game environment. I don't know how many minutes he would play. Like, I'm pretty sure he's been limited recently. I think he just came back from injury, too. Yeah, they said he was available to play in Wednesday's game against the Bulls, and then he didn't even play. That's weird. Interesting. Yeah, that's scary. Then if Jarrett Culver's not starting, I'm not playing him. You like anyone on the Spurs? I mean, now that DeRozan's expected to play, like I don't really like Dejounte Murray at his price. I think DeRozan's the one guy I could see playing on San Antonio. I guess if LaMarcus Aldridge gets ruled out, then you could consider a guy like Trey Lyles, but hold up, guys. I bet I had to sneeze. But outside of that, I don't see much on the Spurs I like. Give us your favorite pay up and pay down play on FanDuel. I mean, I'll be honest, Jeffrey, I don't look at FanDuel's pricing, so my favorite spend up is definitely Harden. And for value, if Aaron Holiday starts for Brogdon, he's probably my favorite value. You get a Top Shot pack today? I don't even look into Top Shot. I haven't even dabbled into it. Back to asking for some food advice. Should I order some sushi or Italian? Oh, give me Italian all day. I'm not a sushi guy. I don't really like sushi. I like hibachi, but I don't really like sushi. Oh yeah, but I love some, hibachi chicken and fried rice. Oh yeah, that's hit the spot. But not a sushi guy. I just hate, seafood and fish in general. Not a fan. Any Miles Turner love? If Brogdon gets ruled out, I think Turner becomes a lot more appealing. If Brogdon plays, though, I don't think I'm going to go to Miles Turner. Noel if he starts or Tyler Johnson? I would prefer Noel if he starts. Who do you like in the Nets game? I mean, obviously Harden's the best play in that game, 100%. But we got to wait and see who starts for Brooklyn, who starts for Kyrie. If Tyler Johnson starts, he's a solid value. I do like Bruce Brown a good amount now that Kyrie's out. Not too much I like on the Dallas side, though, outside of Luka and Porzingis. Mainly in my exposure to that game, just going to go to Brooklyn. Campazzo or Neto? If I had to play one, I'd go with Campazzo. Bojan or MPJ? Give me MPJ. Who's the scrub to go to tonight? Sorry if you already talked about it. We got to wait and see who's going to be in or out. Like, we're still waiting on news on Malcolm Brogdon. If Malcolm Brogdon gets ruled out and Aaron Holiday starts, then I think Aaron Holiday is one of the better values. $3,400 for util on DK. It's tough to answer that right now because we got to wait and see what value we get. Like I said, if Aaron Holiday starts, he's the guy that I go to there. You could play Mike Scott there if he starts. You could play Jalen Noel if he starts. So a lot of options potentially. We got to wait on the news. Best center plays at 9,500 and under. I mean, there's not much, like, if I'm not paying up to the top for like Towns or Jokic, I guess my next favorite guy would be like Zion, 8,900. But I don't really have that much interest in Jared Allen or Gobert. Pirtle could be viable if Aldridge is out. Miles Turner could be viable if Brogdon's out. But yeah, I'll definitely take Zion there, 9,500 and under. O'Neal usually plays good without Conley. God, I hate playing Royce O'Neal. He's like a better version of PJ Tucker. Royce O'Neal is. I just hate playing him. I feel like the entire Jazz team could be out, and I probably still wouldn't play Royce O'Neal. Any interest in Seth Curry, 4,700 on FanDuel, usually plays mid-30s minutes and maybe gets some more usage with Harris out? Yeah, I do have interest in Curry. Especially at that FanDuel price, that seems cheap. He's somewhat cheap on Yahoo too. So, yeah, without Tobias Harris, I think Curry does benefit. He's much more appealing now. Guys, we'll be live for probably about 10 more minutes, so if you got any last-minute questions, throw them in the chat. As always, man, appreciate you guys being here on this Saturday. I know, maybe you guys were off of work or something, but I appreciate all you tuning in as always, man. Thank you for supporting the stream, guys, tuning in, hitting the like button, replying in the chat, putting in questions. Definitely makes the stream, much more enjoyable when there's constant questions flowing in the chat. Ingles or Edwards? Give me Anthony Edwards for sure. Landry Shamet viable on Yahoo for $10. I don't think I'm going to go there. Like, I would definitely rather play Aaron Holiday over Landry Shamet if Brogdon's out. Luka or Westbrook? I mean, if you have the salary, you probably just play Luka. Tonight, O'Neal will get 30 fantasy points. Oh, yeah. Anytime I shit on a guy, they always go off. So, since I talked bad about Royce O'Neal, he's a lock to do well now. If you make one lineup tonight, is Joe Ingles in it? I mean, I can't tell for sure, Michael. I haven't built my lineup yet. He's going to be someone I consider. I just don't know. I haven't built my lineup yet, so I can't really say. Trying to listen while also feeding my kids. Crazy. Hey, well, I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you tuning in, Rich. Thank you, man. Top studs for cash, Noah. I mean, you got to be playing Harden in cash. I don't see any way around it. Probably like Towns and Zion, I think, are cash viable as well. Thoughts on Ben Simmons' usage with Tobias Harris out? I mean, he should get a bump for sure. Him and Joel Embiid. I mean, Ben Simmons is still pretty expensive. He's almost $9K. But yeah, he's definitely in play now that Tobias Harris is out. I have more interest in Simmons than I normally do. What do you think about Roby for OKC? I mean, now that Horford's playing, I have no interest in Roby. I only liked Roby last night because Horford was out. Now that Horford's back, no interest in Roby. Maldon or Steven Adams for last player in? Oh, that's close. I think I'd probably go with Steven Adams there, but that's super close. Steven Adams underpriced on DK. Yeah, he's a little bit too cheap. I think when Steven Adams is playing 30 to 32 minutes a night, he should be priced around 6K. So we're definitely getting a little bit of a discount on Steven Adams. Would you rather play Joe Harris or Joe Ingles? I think I'd take Joe Ingles, honestly. Keita Bates Diop in play? No. I mean, now that DeRozan's back, I really have no interest in any of those guys from San Antonio. Reggie Johnson, $5 super chat. Thank you, my man. Thank you, Reggie. Thanks for the advice, bro. Good luck tonight. Hey, good luck to you as well, Reggie. I appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Thank you. Top stud, regardless of value. I mean, for me, it's Harden. Like I'm playing Harden tonight without question. How many studs in optimal hand building here? I mean, it all depends on the value that we get. Like, if we get word that Brogdon's out and Aaron Holiday starts, if we get word that Mike Scott is starting, if Tyler Johnson starts, like, there's going to be plenty of cheap guys that are viable. So you could probably play 2 to 3 studs tonight, depending on the news we get. But if we don't get, if Brogdon plays, if some other guy starts for Philly that we don't want to go to, then it might just be, one stud kind of night. I'm definitely playing Harden, though. Like, I'm jamming in Harden no matter what. I'll find a way to get him in. Any NBA upsets today? Let's see. Let's take a look at who's favored. I mean, I could see Brooklyn upsetting Dallas. They're 1.5 point dogs right now. Yeah, that'd probably be like my upset of the day. Brooklyn upsets Dallas. Bruce Brown, Clarkson, or Anthony Edwards? I mean, give me Anthony Edwards if you have the salary. All right, Quaron, I don't know if I said your name correctly. I'm sorry, man, if I didn't, but thank you for the $5 super chat. You didn't leave a message, but I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I'm assuming your name is Quaron, so thank you, brother. And sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Hope all is well with you and the dog. Good luck today. Hey, good luck, Patrick. Good luck, man. Been watching for over a year now. Never comment, but I always view and like. Good work. Hey, I appreciate that, WS. Thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Bruce Brown or Joe Ingles? That's close. I think I'd go Bruce Brown, but that's close. Thanks for the advice, man. Hey, sure thing, brother. Sure thing. Good luck, y'all. If it's not me, I hope it's one of the Noah DFS gang. Hey, good luck tonight, Reggie. Good luck, man. Do you know if Porzingis is playing today? Right now, he is probable, so he's expected to play. He should be good to go. What was your question? I answered your question, Atiria. I answered your question about K-Base Diop. Rose or Clarkson? I think I'd go Derrick Rose. That's close, but I think I would take Derrick Rose. Is Dorian Finney-Smith worth it tonight? I mean, I don't have interest in really either one. Like, I don't see any reason to play Dorian Finney-Smith with Porzingis back. Lou Dort's someone I really never play, so yeah, not too much interest in either one of those guys. Which cheap centers do you like tonight? I mean, there's not a ton of value at center. Probably my favorite cheap center would be like Steven Adams. Appreciate all the time and effort you put into this daily to help us out. Hey, well, I appreciate you being here, man. Or Alana Jack, thank you for tuning in. And thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. You think Neto will get some play tonight? Did well last game. I'm not really on Raw Neto. Like, I just don't play Neto when Westbrook and Beal are healthy. I don't see any reason to. And sure, he had 5 steals last game or some stupid shit, but yeah, there's no reason to play Neto when Beal and Westbrook are both healthy. Thanks for the advice, bro. Gonna adjust my lineup. Hey, well, I wish you the best of luck, Brian. LeBron with the Fortnite move on Super Chat. Yeah, I got it set up to where whenever somebody donates, it like pops up with the little LeBron dance. Have one set for Giannis too. Like whenever somebody subscribes to the channel, it'll pop up with a little Giannis dance or something. It's like a little GIF. Compazzo or Shake Milton? I'd probably go Shake Milton there. Ingram or Ball? I think if you have the salary, you can play Ingram. Skywalker DFS, $5 super chat. Thank you, Skywalker. Appreciate that, man. He says, let's get this bread, Noah. More donations for the dog treats, my friend. Hey, I appreciate that, Skywalker. I'll have to go buy some more in honor of you. He'll definitely appreciate it once he wakes up. He's passed out right now. He's over there snoring. Thanks, Noah. Good luck to all. Hey, good luck to you as well, man. Good luck. GPP, fade Harden and Luka and play Murray. I mean, you could do it. It's risky to fade Harden when Kyrie and KD are both out, but you could do it. I'm not doing it, though. I'm playing Harden, just full transparency. What do you think about Taj Gibson? With Noel and Julius Randle both healthy, I don't see any reason to play Taj Gibson. Just no reason, in my opinion. No waffle fries this weekend? I don't know yet. We might have to make some chicken sandwiches and waffle fries again. They were pretty good last time. I saw that McDonald's has a new chicken sandwich. I want to go try that. I don't know if it's any good or not. Josh Hart or Barton? Give me Will Barton there. All right, this dude's spamming just random stuff. Hold on, let me ban this dude. I don't know what he's spamming. It's bomb. Okay, well, I do want to go try it. I saw the commercial. It looked pretty good. That new McDonald's chicken sandwich. You do any single entry double ups or just tournaments? Bobby, I've been playing one lineup recently, and I'll put it in single entry tournaments, single entry double ups, 3-mans, head to heads. I'll put it in basically a ton of stuff. Just a bunch of low stakes tournaments and stuff. Kendrick or Jared Vanderbilt? Give me Vanderbilt between those two. They did away with the buttermilk chicken sandwich, called something else now. Yeah, I saw it's like a new name or something. I mean, I've had Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich, I've had Popeyes, I've had KFC's. Popeyes is the best, I think, but I do want to try that new McDonald's sandwich. It looks pretty good. What type of ownership do you see for Luka tonight with Porzingis most likely to play and everyone jamming Harden with KD and Kyrie out? Oh yeah, he should be. I don't want to say, I can't really guess a number, but my best guess is we probably get like Luka 10 to 15%, maybe a little bit less. So yeah, definitely going to be lower owned than he probably should be, especially now that Porzingis is probably playing. Popeye's hands down. Yeah, I think Popeye's the best, but I really haven't had any bad chicken sandwiches. They've all been pretty damn good. Chick-fil-A's is really good. Popeye's is good. KFC's was all right too. What are your thoughts on 233 people having the same lineup in a 900-person double up? Do they all use the RG or Fantasy Cruncher optimizer? Yeah, Bobby, that's most likely what they're doing. I mean, it's when there's projections available for the public, people are going to run. What these guys are doing. They're basically just running the top projected lineup in the RG projections or Osmo projections or whatever site they're using, and that's what they're playing in cash games. And it makes sense. That's what you probably should be doing. So when you see guys having all the same lineup in a double up, it's because they're playing, the top projected lineup from some sort of projections. And there have been times when I'm hand building my lineup and I wind up playing the same lineup that they do. Like in cash games, you want to have close to what their lineup is. Love the honesty when it comes to chicken sandwiches. Good luck with today's entries. Hey, good luck, Kyle. Good luck, man. All right, guys, it's about 5 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Best of luck tonight. Not sure yet if I will be live tomorrow. Usually Sundays are kind of my days off. I usually don't stream on Sundays, but we will definitely be back for Monday slate. So good luck tonight, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll see you probably tonight. I'll probably make a video for Sunday slate. Definitely be back, though, Monday for streaming again. So good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's win some money, baby. Let's go.